have 2 axles just for redundancy purposes.
Yeah, those are. We had an R-Pod, and it was great. But that single axle, you just constantly having to level and do things, and it's hard to boondock in them.
If you get a flat, it's easier to change with handles.
Yeah, that's true too. And you will get a flat.
You will get a flat.
If you use it eventually.
Never mind. Focus on it.
Spare after what? It's after 2 weeks.
This is just completely stopped. It's got video, right?
Yeah.
We'll stop talking now, audio.
Yeah. No.
You don't realize he worked for the CIA here. NCIS and all the other ones or something.
Must know my brother. He's a hermit. Looks like he was a CIA.
People you think are with the CIA aren't the ones.
Alright, that's the way it goes back to the road. We'll cut this way because that's the Sugar City
It looks like that.
right now.
So folks have been here for a minute.
Homestead.
One of the best vans ever made.
What?
Dodge Grand Caravan. They're you can put about 300,000 on them before they even pick up.
I got 379,000 miles on my truck.
Your truck.
Yeah. Fixing crack.
That's the second truck that
Three
you've gotten that many miles
Yeah.
on since I've known you.
Well, and it's fixing to hit more than that 'cause I'm headed into Virginia on Thursday for the Homesteaders thing.
Should we go to that?
So it's gonna be good. And I finally, tell Brian, that big piece of chalk I told you I had found on the Blue Ridge I've been trying for years to get.
Yeah.
And then I lost it in the GPS. I finally took Blue Ridge Parkway mile by mile map. And I went down and
Sounds
then
like
finally I
this.
found the road that went down. Vesuvius.
You found it.
There, so I know where it is now.
Yeah. You're gonna have to
I think
hit
it's
that.
probably a 15-pound chunk of chaga.
Hey, how about picking us up one?
Um,
Hit you back with it.
I mean, I tried for 3 years to get it, and it's still, if it's still there, it's got a chainsaw survival chain on a rope still stuck in it. Cause I went. So this time we're taking a folding ladder,
Yeah. That
go
makes
right
it
up to it.
be faster work.
Well, it will be because it's about a mile from the Ranger headquarters. So,
We'll edit that out.
Gotta be natives.
hey, you gotta be quick.
Herb walk. Oh, I love that little tag. Look at that. You
Wow.
gotta like each other a lot. I can tell y'all have a good relationship. He's like, how do you know that? Talk to our counselor.
We're ready to do this.
Yeah, stir them up and walk off with them. That'll work.
Yeah, no, you're gonna hear them in a minute. Like the hornets we got to.
Look, me and Darryl will go back and get a picture. I like that one.
Those are pretty cool.
Oh, that is cool.
There's some practical. I mean, they go down just like a regular.
I think that's Mandy's house.
I'd love to have one of those.
She's got a good gig.
Yeah, let's go this way.
Are we camper shopping?
I'm always
Let's
campers.
go through the woods.
Does she get to live up there in that little thing?
I think that's her place.
God, that'd be cool. That's a perk for your job right there. Because they don't, the pay's not there, but
Yeah.
it has to be good for your mind and health.
Yeah, because
Mandy Bear. Freshest air in this whole region's right here. Up in this place. Yeah. Only fresh air in this region.
All this moss too.
Uh-huh. That helps.
that's pretty good in Mintown.
Oh, I'm talking about down here. Mintone's a whole different world. You know our builder hasn't even started yet. We've been in the motorhome for a year.
Everybody's got so much business they don't need business.
Yeah.
That's just become a crashing halt.
I know, and that may be what the good Lord's doing for us.
Alright. very good. All right, there's your Bidens for your Lyme disease, spotted fever disease. That's one of them.
When you say that's antiviral,
No, it's antibacterial, antiparasitical. All right, and then recognize that. You know it. I guarantee you know it. And you say, oh. The botanical name for this is Angelica venenosa. The common name for it is boarhawk root. There's a big one here, little ones here. It's a type of Angelica called Angelica venenosa. Also, sometimes I think they may call it filmy Angelica. And here's one where it's just finished blooming and it's gone to seed.
There it is.
Yeah, it's got seeds in it.
It's your man herb.
Man herb. It's the nature's herbal Viagra.
The guy back there chewing on it hard right now.
I think the strip a few leaves, but I'll let it go.
I'll leave it there.
Yeah.
I have to say, I'll throw them in my backyard. He'll give us
I'm not expecting that one here.
They won't leave the Viagra back there.
Come on. Step away from the Viagra. Alright, anybody on walk yesterday better recognize this one. Wood betony pedicularis. As in, used for what?
Anxiety,
Some for
stress,
anxiety, stress, and
depression.
muscle
Muscle
pain
pain.
associated with the spinal column. Wood betony. Be careful, there's a mint called wood betony, also known as pedicularis, also known as lousewort. Very good for pain associated with spinal nerve injury.
Like the cerebrospinal fluid inflammation.
Anything dealing with the spine.
Well, then it
itself.
should be good for post-COVID.
Darryl Park, Darryl.
For that,
If they have that.
if they
yeah.
have that brain
Yeah.
fog.
It is extremely effective for issues arising with the spines. I think what it does is it sedates the spinal nerve so they innervate in the spinal column.
So you said
Yeah.
the
Oh, the actual
long-term COVID, like the brain fog that comes along with it, that could easily help.
Possibly the brain fog, but more for people have pain radiating down their spine.
What part is used?
The whole plant is used. Make it up as a tincture, and like you do Solomon seal, also as an oil or a liniment, and apply it topically. It mixes really super well with black cohosh root, which works for the same purpose on the spine.
That little Happy Camper formula, have you ever seen it at the stores? Called Happy Camper. It's supposed to lift you up and be a mood elevator. That's their secret weapon for that formula.
It's good stuff. What's another name for like warrior plant? They call one of the one out west warrior plant because it builds the emotions and the strength. It's extremely good. And there's a bunch of different varieties of this. There's actually one out west where the flowers look like elephants with little trunks on them. Very common plant. Usually you find it in moist areas and stuff, but then you find certain species grow around dry areas, all up in the Rocky Mountains.
Is that the one that's good for migraines, or is that the other wood betony?
That is the other
That's
wood
the
betony.
stash-
That is the Stachys.
Stachys?
Yeah. Stachys betonica, Stachys officinalis. I suspect that Florida betony, the one with the tubers, will too. It's another Stachys. That's an example where common names can get confusing sometimes.
Yeah, especially when you go to Peru.
Pick them up on the fly sometimes. And then you notice when they're speaking Spanish to each other, it does not even sound like Spanish.
No.
It's because they throw in some Japanese words, some Quechua words, and it's a totally different form of Spanish. To use.
There's no hope.
We could tell it was
And,
different.
and it's non-stop, one word.
Yeah. Wow. That's a pretty little Class C. Is that a Class C or A?
Looks like an A.
Huh?
Trying to figure out with this motorhome, it's a Class C or Class A. Oh, it's based on the strip.
Nice little
Yeah.
stick ball field.
Yeah, it's a Mercedes diesel.
Yeah, we got there in one of these little Indian villages one day, played soccer with the kids. Boy, they tore us in.
I bet.
They're like, what, 8 years old.
You were on their turf too.
Yeah, maybe 8 at the funniest. That's like when I was in high school. My friend Greg Bailey was the editor of the Gas and Times. He had the wild hair to challenge a bunch of lesbians to a softball tournament. They were one of the Gadsden team.
How'd that go?
I think I made an infield hit and that was it.
And you regretted it?
Yeah, we flunked off. Our practice hurt.
That's awesome.
That was funny. Yeah. Sometimes you should just know better than to join the battle.
Well, being humbled is a good thing too sometimes.
Okay. Yeah, that would be Mandy's house. There's her vehicle.
Yep.
All right. It says you can trespass. Sourwood blossoms. That's actually the seed cases down. You see how they sort of resemble blueberries in a way? But that's it. Sourwood blooming.
What is that there?
That's the sourwood tree.
Oh.
Those are the seed cases from when it bloomed.
Oh yeah, that's across the field.
They're actually pretty tree. It's another one that changes color earlier. If you go back to Oxford and hit the bypass, two things you'll see everywhere on those embankments is rabbit tobacco like crazy. I mean, thousands of pounds of it, and a million of these small ones turning red.
Wow. What you don't see are all the buried chemicals.
Nah.
Is there another sourwood where the bark's real grainy?
Mature trees, they get a real gnarly bark on them, on the big trees.
Okay, so it just changes drastically.
Yeah, this is just a young one.
Okay.
But when they get big and they're like that big and stuff, they got just deeply furrowed and ridged bark.
Yeah.
If you can find a straight piece, which is really hard, but if you find a straight piece, it'll have about the same bending value as hickory, and you can take the bark off, and that's the back of your bow, tiller the belly, and you got a D bow that'll back pretty much like a hickory bow. It's just hard finding one straight enough before they have already started twisting and curling.